Hello and welcome to the Cardiac Cats YouTube channel. I'm your host, Jacob Shorba, and today we've got some more breaking news. Not very shocking news, but still breaking news. We have had some confirmation from the Schultz report, which has been in contact with a few guys in the locker room, as you read it, that this locker room's gone for Doug Pederson. There is no buy-in to the vision. There is not any sort of unity. This locker room is toast. And like I said, not that shocking. And I would have started recording this earlier, but I was actually working on a film review for Brian Thomas Jr. You guys can check that out later this week. I'll put it out on my Twitter. I'll probably upload it as well, just in like a post or something on here. It's for on their channel, but you guys will definitely want to check that out. But I didn't see this until like over an hour later. So I apologize that we're not talking about this any sooner. But this is crazy stuff, right? And this says a lot about where this team is. And I just, as much as I don't think Shad Khan is going to make a decision quickly, right? And we've already had that proof because there's been two opportunities now to make that decision. One was after the blowout loss, the Buffalo Bills on Monday Night Football, where there is still no answers. And the second was a close loss to Houston, where the head coach threw the players under the bus. Which it's almost like that's part of the reason why the locker room's gone. Who would have ever guessed that it worked like that? I don't know. Maybe we're just crazy or something. But this is where we are as a franchise. And I think this is just a point where, as much as we wanted to see a good season, right? Even if we didn't believe in this team, you want to see success, right? We would love if this team went 13-4 and won the Super Bowl, but it's just simply at this point, I don't think there's a possibility that they come back under Doug Pederson. I don't think they would earn interim either, but this is where they are. Shad Khan still hasn't made a decision. I really have to wonder at this point, with these kinds of things coming out about the organization that we've known but are finally being confirmed, if we could have a decision by next week. Because you got to think, we're coming into a game on Sunday against Indianapolis where we're inducting Tom Coughlin at halftime. We're wearing the throwback uniforms. We're doing all these things that are supposed to be really big, and at the same time, we're playing the Colts, who have not won in Jacksonville in over a decade. And to me right now, if I was going to be completely honest, I don't think Jacksonville wins that game. And I don't even know if it's close at this point. I think this team is broken. I think that's not a crazy thing to say either. I think most people would agree with that, but I think it's at a point of no return where, regardless of what Doug Pederson does from this point, when you've lost the locker room, it is over. And this could be something that drastically changes the season. And the impact of this, if there is a move made very soon, which I would imagine there would be. My two guesses, one would be after this week, if they lose to Indianapolis in poor fashion. The other would be after the London trip. I think one of those is probably where this happens. But if this happens early in the season, we could see a huge fire sale before the trade deadline. That is possible with this team, depending on just how bad things are. We could see a lot of players that are getting sold that are not going to be here long term. You could see a Cam Robinson get traded, for example. Christian Kirk would be someone that a lot of teams would be looking at. But this is something, with how quick this collapse has been, I think that is going to have a lot of ripple effects on this organization. It just speaks to the level of collapse this has been for the Jaguars. Absolutely unbelievable. I was a downer on this team heading into the year. Y'all know if you watch this offseason. But I didn't think they were actually going to go 0-4 and lose the locker room 2 weeks into the year. I just didn't think that was possible. But the Jaguars seem to always prove us wrong in some way or another. But that's really all I've got to talk about here. Just a quick little video. I wanted to throw this out there and, see what you guys think about it. It's not really much to debate, to be honest, but I think it just says a lot to have this confirmation and that this happened so quickly in the year. And it really has to question, were they honest about where they were this offseason? You know, was this really a team that was even buying in before the year? I question that as well. I think this was almost something that if you lost them that quickly, was it over last year? Was it done after week 18? There's just going to be a huge ripple effect from all of this, and a lot of long-term questions and a lot of damage that's been done by not only Doug Pederson, but your general manager as well, and the owner who allowed this all to happen. So we'll see what happens. I think this just probably increases the likelihood that we see an early firing compared to one that comes later. But hey, we'll just see what happens, because this weekend is the battle of the streak of beating the Colts at home forever versus the battle of or it's, let me reword that. It's the battle of that streak against the Jaguars always finding a way to humiliate themselves. We'll see which one's stronger. But that's all I've got today. I appreciate you guys jumping in for this quick video. Hope you all have a great rest of your day. And finally, go Jags.